So I have for review this sneaker, and it's basically the Nike Air Max 1 and what they're calling the Malachite colorway, which is a green colorway. And this trainer, I've been meaning to check it out because it's using the OG color blocking, and I'm a big fan of Air Max 1s in general, so anything with the OG color blocking is cool with me. And I feel like this particular one works well in this OG colorway, and what I mean by that is it's got the grey panels on the medial and lateral side of the sneaker, and also on the heel all the way around. And then basically these versions of this particular color blocking released originally back in, I think it was 85, 86, and they were released on the University Red pair and also the Obsidian pair, I believe, and also a Royal pair as well. And as you can sort of see, the mudguard that goes all the way around, this is in this green color, and usually that would be in sort of red, for example, if it was like an OG. And then also the swoosh and the lace loops and also the Nike Air on the back would all be in red. So in this case, all they've done is just swapped out the red for green, and that's why I kind of like this color blocking. It's simple, it's straightforward, and just sort of works in my eyes. And the colorway for this is Malachite green and white and neutral grey. And this has a polyurethane midsole, as you can see here, and it's also quite sort of tough. And it has an airbag in the heel. And this is made up of all sort of mesh and synthetic upper materials. And basically, it's one of those ones where the sort of synthetic materials is this sort of felt-like material. I wouldn't really call it suede, and it's more sort of quite sort of brushy, sort of made out of, I suppose, almost feels like a cotton or sort of nylon-y type of material. So with the comfort and sizing, I think these are on the medium to firm side. So what I will say about Air Max 1s is aren't the most comfortable of sneakers nowadays, and there's much better options out there. Obviously, you know, this sneaker is really old, and you know, for me, it's not going to be too comfortable. And as you can sort of see, the midsole sits slightly elevated, so your heel will sit slightly up, and then it does put a little bit of tension on your forefoot. And because of the firmness, it does feel that you need time to sort of break it in as well. And basically the insoles that are provided, especially probably on this version, aren't that great either. So as you can sort of see, it's quite sort of thin, but I do like this contoured outprint that they've got going on, which is the same as what you'd get on the outsole. These, for that reason, they can sort of get fatiguing as well. And I would sort of recommend going true to size in these, because they've got a sort of wide foot and wide silhouette. They tend to sort of feel like better if you go true to size. However, I have sort of more of a wide foot, and I just like that extra bit of space in the toe box. It's not much, but I kind of like my toe to be about here, and just sort of prefer it that way for me personally. And that's the reason why I just got up half size. But you don't necessarily need to. I can also be fine on true to size. And I would say that even though the sole looks like it's going to do the business, it's got this sort of waffle pattern going on at the front with the squares. But I just feel it's not very good for wet weather, especially the back here. For me, it slips quite a lot, so I tend not to wear it in the wet. And with the look and style, like I said earlier, it's got the OG colour blocking on this, and I really like that. I think it's really cool, and just, you know, classic at the end of the day. And I just like the simple panels and the colour blocking on this. It just makes it look sort of elegant and almost sort of sophisticated now for nowadays as well. And it's a good one to wear sort of spring, summertime, in my opinion, because of the fact that it's one of those sneakers that with the mesh sort of upper and basically being sort of really breathable, and the materials on here aren't the greatest, so you don't really want to get them sort of too wet or, you know, too dirty. So I think spring, summertime, they kind of work really nice. And I think nowadays, like with the Air Max 1, you can sort of dress them up casual, but also smart casual. Like this would be fine with a pair of chinos and a jumper, as an example. And basically the laces that come with it are white, but there's no reason why you can put in green or even sail. Sail works well with green, and then also a grey coloured lace. With the final thoughts, I like the OG colour blocking. It's something for me. That's the reason why I kind of grabbed this pair. I think it looks really cool, and I wanted to sort of check it out. And then also it's a vibrant green as well. So compared to some of the other ones that I released recently, this one's basically more of a, I suppose, in line with the sort of sport red version or the royal version of colours, and quite sort of vibrant and easy to wear. With the cons, I think the cost, so the price on these are a bit on the high side in my opinion. I think at £135 these ones retail for, and the materials and the tech that you get in there doesn't really justify the price too much. And like I say, the materials, they aren't the greatest. They're just very sort of synthetic-y, as you can sort of see. It's quite sort of rough on this. It's quite sort of nylon-y material as well. It's not greatest, but it's fine. But I do like the build quality on this. They've done a good job on both pairs that I have. And the comfort, obviously, like I said earlier, it's not the greatest of comfort, so that's why I've sort of marked it down. I would love a version where they kind of updated this midsole, still include the air unit, but also just update this so it's a bit more sort of softer and more sort of up to date with today's technology. So with the ratings, I give the look of style for this a 5 out of 5. I think it looks like one of those sneakers that would have released back in the day, you know, in sort of in the late 80s, and this particular colorway just works well in this way, in this particular silhouette. And with the comfort, I give that a 3. It's just standard stuff. You're not going to get anything special in this. I think what I will say, the more you sort of wear them in, the more comfortable they get. And the quality, I give that a 3 as well. It's not like the greatest of quality. What I do like is, you know, they've done a good job in this particular version. Sometimes you'll get Nike Air Maxes where the logo on the back is sort of disjointed or, you know, imbalanced, and bad sort of stitch paneling as well. But this particular one looks quite cool to me and looks fine, and they've done a good job in this. And the pricing, I give that a 4. Reason being is it's just one of those sneakers that is probably just a bit too high. I think if they retailed at 110, I think they'll be okay. And overall, I'll give this one a 4 out of 5. I think, you know, you can't really like match it to like the OG colorways because they hold a special sort of nostalgic factor, and also being the original ones that release. But you know, this one's a really cool one if you're sort of into your Air Maxes and just like the you know, sort of this sort of simple color blocking with a different color on there. You can't go wrong really.